sunlight. So that little sequence you just saw was not particularly, I'd say, interesting to watch, but it was mainly to show the transitions I'm going to show you all in camera. The first transition I'm going to show you is the whip transition that you saw, which was probably most frequently used often. Now, it's simple the way you set this up. Now, all you need to do is you need to have your camera in a set spot. Now, once you start recording, when you end that clip, and this is for the starting clip, end it where you turn the camera really quickly, and that creates motion blur. Then for the clip that follows up to that, you can all of a sudden pan, and then it goes back to normal. Now, you do need to plan these transitions in advance. It's also the same for when you're actually panning up or down, just simply boom, normal, boom, out. Now, the second one I'm going to show you is actually the one you saw with the tree, where it actually follows, and it seems like it's the same thing, just where it cuts in between when the camera is covered up. I do recommend that it's actually similar material so it will cut more seamlessly, so I'm going to use these two boards with the hot tub right here, and the light's very nice. Okay, so starting with the whip transition, as this clip right here shows. Now, to do this is very simple. Obviously, select your in and out points, select your in and out points. I typically don't look for motion blur yet because I want to base that on the other clip. Then select the other clip that it ends with, which happens to be this one. Now, it's very simple from here. All you gotta do is you gotta go to the point where there's the most motion blur. Around there is what I want. So just trim it to there. Second one, get to the most motion blur. That looks about right. Trim it. And boom. This is a normal 24p. If I'm doing 60, for example, like you saw in the beginning over here, what I did when I did 60p, because it's in slow motion, is I simply sped the two clips up over here so it'd make it more sense. Next one is the actual transition where it seamlessly transitions, however you say it, between the two objects, where it blocks the entire camera, the blocking transition. So in and out points, I'm going to end it where it actually completely blocks the wood right here. I'll put this on video too, and you'll see why. Then the one that it ends with, just blocking the wood right there. Then it goes on endpoints. Now the key here, and this is what I do. You know, other people may do it a different way, but this is what I find works for me. This is what works for me. Now simply what I do is when it covers up the whole wood, that's where I put the bottom clip. Now these do have to overlap. And you're definitely saying to yourselves, well, that doesn't do it because there's clearly a cut right there. Well, simply go to your effects panel, go to video transitions, dissolve, cross dissolve, or whatever dissolving transition you have. Drag that right about there. And then there you go. But it's not quite seamless, so you can play with it just a little bit. Seems like it just needs to get over there a bit, and boom. However, this isn't foolproof. Make sure, see, this texture right here worked because not only was it out of focus, so it kind of blended the two together better, but also the material is so similar, as you can see. I mean, it just blends naturally, and the light also hides it just a little bit. So it's so seamless. But over here, this is another one I recorded. This one didn't work at all because it goes from this. Yeah, pretty terrible. As you can see, it translates. But since I wasn't moving at the same speed, I did try to speed it up, but it still didn't work because the texture wasn't the same at all. Now, the trees at the beginning of the video, like you saw here, it's about here, I think. Yep, pretty much. Is the lighting was very dark right here, as you could see. So, and the trees were almost the exact same texture. So, you know, just makes sense. But if done right, that can be an excellent transition.